going on, guys? Welcome to the stream and YouTube video. Today we're doing something very special. We are going to be doing me and my friend Droids top 10 favorite Pokemon. And this video could be simple, but we decided to go very big for this video, and you'll see what I mean in a second. Let's just say it took us like 15 to 20 hours to make this video. It's gonna take us like 20 minutes. Alright. Alright, Droid, you there?
Explain to them how we do this.
Yeah, so what we did was we represented our top 10 favorite Pokemon by pixel art, as you can see here by Droid's number 10. And it took us a very long time to do this.
Yeah, we used the favorite Pokemon picker website.
Oh yeah.
And these are the 10 we ended up with. I don't know about you, but my top 10 pretty much changes every week.
Mine is pretty, like, at least my top 3 are very,
Well, yeah, like my top 3 are pretty consistent. But, like, everything else it depends on how I'm feeling on a given day.
Yeah, so these are our top 10s at the moment.
Alright, so should I do my number 10 first?
Yes.
Right.
We're already looking
Yeah,
at
we got Honchkrow here. I honestly couldn't really put a finger on why I have such a fascination with Honchkrow all of a sudden. I played Gold. That was my first Pokemon game. I really liked Murkrow. And then when I played Diamond for the first time, I was really happy to see he got an evolution. But I was never really that interested in this Pokemon until recently, when I kind of just realized how cool the design. Like a mix of, he's like a mix of a plague doctor, like an Italian mafia leader. Kind of like
and a crow.
And I like his hat too. So I suppose that's really the only reason I have Honchkrow on here is design, pretty much. He's really cool looking Pokemon. Alright. So do you want to do your 10 or we're gonna do my 9? And
We're just gonna do your 9 because we're going in order, I guess, with
right. So yeah, you can see my Honchkrow is actually facing the wrong way. Funny, because that's the last one I Scolipede, to say that I'm a bit of a Gen 5 fanboy. That I read. And Scolipede's one of my favorite Pokemon from that game. It's just cool. I just like the concept of, back in Gen 1 bug types for like Caterpie and Weedle, like little caterpillars that turn into cocoons that turn into like pretty underwhelming final forms that design-wise were pretty good but weren't that great, like power-wise. But then in Gen 5, it's like you got Venipede and then Whirlipede, which is a very interesting design in itself, and then it turns into a giant, like 7-foot tall centipede that's
I know that
and super strong.
And I know that in Sword and Shield, what you did made you like it even more.
Oh fuck, yeah. Some people from Hansi server might know about that actually. My encounter method hunt on the Isle of Armor for shiny Venipede, and in the process, I actually ended up with 3 funguses and shiny Happy. Was it Happy?
Yeah,
it was Happy. 3 shiny funguses, 3 shiny Happy. That was ridiculous. Whatever. I have my shiny Scolipede now, so I'm happy.
Yeah.
Let's do
some. So this very, very cool Pokemon. He was actually my number 4 for a long time, but there are a lot of Pokemon that have actually passed it up recently. Surprisingly. What did you say, Droid?
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I was gonna say that Gallade was on my top 10 for a while as well. But I think out of what I liked about his Mega was
exactly
he might have the best Mega design in the entirety of Pokemon. He might have the best Mega.
Yeah, you see, that's the reason why he fell for me, is because I didn't really like him for his base form, which I feel like isn't important. The sum of it too, because there's no Megas, so Gallade, we just did much.
Blastoise, very cool design Pokemon. I've always kind of liked Blastoise a little bit. Back when I played Gold and how you couldn't get Squirtle normally in that game. And it just made me kind of want that Pokemon a lot. And then of course, you know, eventually I figured out that you could trade over a Pokemon from red version into old version. So I gave myself all the starters on one of my playthroughs, and that was. But yeah, I mean, the biggest thing I like about Blastoise actually is his role in Pokemon Origins, which I don't know if you've ever seen that twisted. Episodes long, and it's basically like the retelling of the events of the original Gen 1 Pokemon game. Nothing like the Pokemon anime. It's actually like super serious, and it's actually really cool what they do. And then of course, and then just the battle with Red with Blue's Blastoise, that made me like the Pokemon a lot more. Because you know, I'm a pretty big Blue fanboy, so.
I will say the episode of Generations where we just saw Blue taking down all the Elite Four members was also
that was also probably my favorite episode of Generations.
That was the only good episode because the rest had nothing to do with Origins.
Yeah, I mean this Pokemon. I mean, you might be surprised that I have a Kanto Pokemon on here because you know Gen 5 fanboy, but you know, I played the old games. I do like some of the old Pokemon as well.
Of course.
Yeah, man.
All right. So my number 9 is Toxapex. This is probably the hardest pixel art I had to do because not only is it massive, but there's also like all the spikes and everything, and there's so much diagonals that this was just very difficult to piece together.
Yeah, a lot of different colors I see on there too.
A lot of diamonds.
Yeah, you ended up using the diamond blocks. That was creative.
Yeah. Anyways, I remember seeing the Gen 7 Pokédex leak when the what's it called? The demo came out. Well, before that, we saw Marini on a Pokemon card leak when they were teasing the TCG set in Japan. And then I saw Toxapex on that leak, and I'm like, that actually looks pretty weird and interesting. I'm like, I want to try using it. Then I found out it's like the hardest Pokemon to get in Alola. So then I used it, and I was absolutely in love with it. And on top of that, hunting its shiny was to fail like 4 shiny Corsolas to get both of my shiny Marinis. But it was worth it when I got my shiny Toxapex. I loved it. That is why Toxapex is like one of my favorite Pokemon. Also because of the shiny, it just looks really good. So yeah, that's my number 9.
I can't believe you actually SOS'd that thing.
Yeah.
Because I saw the process on how to do it, and I was just like, forget it, man. I'll do eggs.
Number 7.
Yeah, okay, so my number 7's Glaceon. I'll be the first to admit that I'm actually not that big of an evolution guy. Like, I know the evolutions are some of the most popular Pokemon, whether it's, you know, the original breed from the Kanto region or the two
I
from
agree.
Johto.
Consider even though my dog's name is Eevee, I agree.
Yeah. I mean, I like Eevee, the Pokemon itself. It's cute. I get why it's the second mascot, but I've never really been a huge evolutions fan. But Glaceon is the exception. And what's funny is that I feel like the Sinnoh evolutions don't really get as much respect as the other ones do. Like
I agree.
I feel like you're either like Umbreon's super popular, obviously. Jolteon, Vaporeon from Gen 1 tend to be pretty popular. And then Sylveon's got its devout fans as well, but I feel like the Gen 4 ones don't get enough respect, and
They don't.
Glaceon's another one of those Pokemon that I really just like for design purposes. I think it's the most adorable, hands down. I really like the little.
I agree.
I like these little.
It's the most adorable.
What would you describe this like these hanging pieces as, like what I'm standing on right now?
I would
Like
say
tassels?
whiskers, maybe.
I would almost call it like tassels hanging from its head. I really like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's a really neat looking Pokemon in my opinion. Definitely my favorite evolution. And then I will say this was.
Dix is here. Echo, echo, echo. He says.
Wait, from... Oh, is the Echo back?
From your end.
Bruh.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay, well, I'll see if I can fix that. But basically, you know, I really like Glaceon. This is definitely the easiest pixel art for me to do, though. As, I think if you can see what's next to Glaceon on my end, you'll see what ended up being my hardest to do.
I know it's my voice that's echoing, but that's coming through his mic.
Yeah,
Trust
it's
me.
coming through my
know
mic.
this.
We actually had it fixed for a while. I don't know what happened to it. Let me see if I can fix it again.
Alright, while you do that, I'm going to explain my number 8, which is right here, which is Mimikyu. And Mimikyu, it's a very interesting case because when I saw the leaks for it in Coro, I did not like the Pokemon. I thought that it was weird. I was not about it. I did not think it was
Is the
cool.
echo still there?
No, it's not. It's gone.
We good?
Yeah,
Okay,
we're good.
cool. I'll just leave that up because I'll probably need.
Yeah, but yeah, Mimikyu is my number 8 because, like I said, I did not like it at first, but then I remember playing through Sun and Moon for my first time, and then I encountered one in the Thrifty Mega Mart. Now we can hear both beautiful voices. Yeah, great Jix. Yeah, so I caught this in the Thrifty Mega Mart because I knew it was a rare catch, so I was like, why not? I mean, I don't have one. And then I used it on my team, and I absolutely fell in love with this thing. Like, I love it so much now that it's my second favorite Gen 7 Pokemon. It's just this cute little Pikachu wannabe. He just wants to get all the love and attention that Pikachu does, and I think it's adorable. I love this Pokemon so much. And plus, its shiny is one of the best, for sure. Alright.
I remember Mimikyu sticking me ridiculous time to get Mega Mart.
Yeah. And I remember another thing I love about it is in the anime, when it literally kills Meowth in the anime, and so they cut it out of the English version.
Oh, that's what happened?
Yes, so it takes its cloth off when it goes swimming, and then Meowth looks at it, and then he dies. It comes back to life, and they cut that part out in the English version.
Yeah, honestly, Japanese Pokemon's got a lot of just random scenes that got removed. Yeah, it's kind of funny.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny, actually.
Alright, so my number 7 is Graphlock, which is a very, very recent Pokemon. Which I'm actually... Wait, is that 7? Or am I wrong?
I'm definitely
10,
ahead.
9, 8, 7. It is 7, okay.
Let's do 7. You
I'm
go
right.
ahead and do Graphlock, and then we'll be caught up with each other.
Yeah. Sorry about that. Graphlock is number 7, and yeah. It's just, I remember I saw this Pokemon on the leaks by Central Pokemon, and I was like, that is so cool. I want to use this on my team now. I knew going into it that I wanted to use it, but I did not know how much I was going to like it after seeing it and using it. You see, originally, Orbeetle has been my favorite for a while, and Corvo Knight, but I still love them. They're in my top 20 for sure. It's just... Recently, Graphlock I just loved it even more after seeing it in the anime and stuff, and seeing its following animation in the DLC and stuff. I just think it's very, very cool. And I just think the color scheme works very well. I know Droid personally isn't a fan of this Pokemon, but I absolutely love it.
It's not that I don't like Graphlock, it's just I'm not crazy about it. Graphlock's fine.
Which I understand. Yeah, for the reasons why, I love Graphlock, my favorite fighting type Pokemon. And yeah, number 7 for me. Alright, your turn.
Alright, well, as you can see, we've got the three-headed beast himself, Hydreigon, right here. I think that's how you say it. I've heard like 4 different pronunciations. I've been calling it Hydreigon. Hydreigon
is what I've heard.
Yeah, Austin John Plays called it Hydreigon.
No, that was Loxton that said that.
He also did that too, I remember, because he actually went super hard on the German pronunciation with it.
Wait, Jix says that Graphlock is Squidward if Squidward was a buff wrestler. Yeah, true. I could agree with that. Oh, that's true. He doesn't have a nose.
You know what? It's canon. Whatever. It makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hydreigon is... I don't even know where to begin with this thing. It is... Like, okay, you all know here how much I love Dragonite. Spoiler alert, he's higher up on this list, but, something about Hydreigon is just... This guy might just be one of the single best concepts ever executed in Pokemon. I remember, we gotta go back a little bit. Don't go back to 2011, I'm pretty sure. 10-year-old Jordan. Or 10-year-old Droid, whatever. Sitting on the couch playing Pokemon White. He just got it earlier that week. And then, obviously you get to the Elite Four, and then you don't fight the champion. You fight whatever legendary you're gonna get in that game. Then you fight, and then there's a surprise battle with Getsus. And I remember just being like, wow, this guy's really edgy. This guy's got some cool Pokemon on his team. And then he throws this thing out. and I'm just like, what is that thing? That thing is so cool. And since that day, I have been absolutely obsessed with Hydreigon. I know Twisted personally doesn't like this Pokemon that much, but
Yeah, my Graphlock is like your Hydreigon. My Hydreigon's your Graphlock. Is what I'm trying to say. I personally don't like it that much, but yeah.
I mean,
I can see how you do.
This is pretty much the definition of a Gen 5 Pokemon too, because it's a concept that's kind of goofy in a way, but it ends up playing out really nicely, in my opinion at least. I know there's probably some people that definitely don't like some of the Gen 5 design concepts, but I'm definitely not one of those people. I love Hydreigon. He is a beast. That's all I have to say.
My number 6. My number 6, well, I couldn't find a good pixel art, so I had to use the small one, sadly. It's...
Oh boy.
It's Dusk form Lichen Rock. My favorite of the Lichen Rock forms, and... Oh my god, I love this Pokemon. I remember I loved the Midday form, and I loved Rockruff in the anime and stuff, and it just, every time I saw Rockruff, I just liked it a little bit more and a little bit more. And I knew Rockruff, upon the first time I saw it, I knew he was my favorite dog Pokemon, and yeah. I remember I liked both forms of Lichen Rock, and then in the anime, it was like we were led to believe there was going to be a new form of Lichen Rock, and then they revealed this thing, and I was just mind blown. It looks like a Ugandan Knuckles, yeah.
Yeah, like for sure. Ugandan Knuckles?
Yeah, that's what Jix says.
I mean, it's the wrong color, but I see why you think that.
Yeah. But yeah, for those reasons, it's just, I like Lichen Rock, and I remember this was the one shiny in Sun and Moon that I really wanted. I egg hunted it, went for like 1,000 eggs, and stopped because I hate egg hunting in Sun and Moon. And then as soon as the Isle of Armor came out, I was like, I need to egg hunt this again. And then I got it in like 400, and I was so happy. And yeah, Dusk Lichen Rock for that reason is just my favorite of the Lichen Rock forms, and my favorite dog Pokemon.
Now
with that being said... Oops, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead and finish. I was just gonna say some random tangent.
Oh, Echo's coming back. A little bit, I think.
My volume is now down to 6. How are we doing?
We're sounding good, I think.
Am I still audible?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, no, this headset's totally bugged. Yeah, but basically what I was gonna say about that, and I'm very surprised none hit any shinies.
Oh god, you need to talk louder though, because your like mic's cutting out a little bit.
Okay, can you hear me now?
We can live with we can just live with the echo for a little bit. It's not that bad. It's just a little bit. I guess we're fine.
We don't have pro setup, so I guess we can't ask for perfection.
True.
But yeah, I'm surprised neither of us did shinies for any of them.
Yeah, but yeah, for number 5, anyways, is Dragapult, which Hydreigon's your second favorite pseudo legendary. My second favorite pseudo legendary is Dragapult, and I remember I saw this. This was like one of the last of the leaks to come out, and I was just like, "This thing looks really cool. I want to use this." And then I found out it's very impossible to get, and so I didn't use it in my first run through. And because of that, my love for it kind of fell a little bit.
Not with all the doo-doo bot raids that used to go around with this thing in it.
No, hold on. I'm getting there.
Oh, sorry.
I'm getting there. So yeah, when the games first came out, this was like nowhere. No one had this. It was very hard to get. This was like one of the last Pokemon we needed for the Pokédex. And I was just like, after I got my first one, I was like, I wanted to use it in raids and stuff. And then in January, I decided, you know what? I'm going to try egg hunting because this encounter method sucks. So I egg hunted for the first time, and this was the first egg shiny I got, and I got it in like 70 eggs-ish. And that will always be remembered because that was, my first egg shiny. It was less than 100, which is broken. Because I got it in high school. I was just playing my game because I was finished with the test, and I just see this yellow eared thing pop up, and I'm like, what?
May I just
like, already?
May I just tangent and say something real quick?
What?
May I just say that is incredibly lucky for you to get on a pseudo legendary egg hunt, because those eggs take forever to hatch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then Doodoo-Bot happened, and,
That had
this
to be
thing was everywhere.
that had to be literally the most popular doo-doo-botted shiny in the game.
Oh, for sure.
Literally, because you ended up getting so many of those that I ended up with a Dragapult, a Dracloak, and a Dreepy shiny because you got so many.
But yeah, no, Jix, neither of us have the same Pokemon in the top 10. They're all different.
Yeah, that's actually
And if
interesting.
we were
That's an
gonna...
interesting observation, actually. I'm surprised we don't have any
Yeah.
overlap.
Yeah, no. But that's why our friendship works, because we are very different people.
Indeed. I mean, you've got some good ones on here, honestly.
I do. So do you. But yeah, so yeah, that's why Dragapult is my 5th favorite. And plus I just love the idea actually, sorry, I'm still going. I love the idea of the fact that it has these little Dreepies that it has just sleeping in its head and then it shoots them out like missiles. It's so cute. I love them so much.
That was the most surprising Pokedex entry in Sword and Shield.
Yeah, but yeah, that's why Dragapult is my 5th favorite.
Actually,
and
second most shocking. The most shocking was friggin' Hatchroom and
is Cesar your 5th or 6th?
Pretty sure we're at my 5th now.
5th too, okay.
Yeah, so this is Cesar. Yeah, I did the I don't know if this is gold or silver, this sprite, but it's one of the older sprites for it because I really like its design specifically because I like how retro it looks. Like Cesar's design is aged wonderfully. It still looks great. It's still one of the most badass looking Pokemon ever created. But it's also the fact that it really just feels like it's from the Gen 2 era, like in terms of it still kind of has that early era simplicity while still being badass with some of the features they added on it, like I really like the claw hands with like the eyes on them to like trick its opponents. I think that's what it's.
It looks like a trap hinge.
Yeah, it looks like it's got 2 trap pinches on its hands, and it's funny because Cesar came out before trap. But yeah, there's not much to say about Cesar other than this thing just looks really badass.
All right, let's start with.
I actually made a mistake. I fixed it. I had a block sticking.
Number 4 is Incineroar, my favorite Gen 7 Pokemon. This was also a really hard pixel art to do, let me just say. And this Pokemon has been in my top recently because, well, let's just say that I don't know. I think it's really cool how he's just a cool looking tiger. And I was Team Litten since day 1, so I knew that I was gonna love this boy. Plus, Fire type is my favorite type. Dark type it used to be my 2nd favorite type. Back when it first came out, it was my 2nd favorite. Now Fairy is my 2nd favorite, but still, it's my 3rd, so it's close enough. But yeah, because of that, he had 2 of my favorite types, which made me even happier. And I love his special move and everything. And yeah, I loved using it on my first team. I still have that Incineroar to this day. He's in Pokemon Home right now. But yeah. And additionally, recently, probably my best egg hunt ever happened with him. No, I didn't get a first egg shiny, but I went 800 to get a shiny Litten, but then I got back-to-back. The only time I've gotten back-to-back shinies was for Litten. I will never forget that, and that was absolutely awesome.
I was there. You were like freaking out.
I know. I was just like,
you
Jordan, I just got back-to-back.
No. It was more like, oh my god, I went back-to-back! It was more like that. I can't replicate you. Your voice is too high, but you get the point. I mean,
yeah,
you might be the only person in our friend group to go back-to-back, but I'm the only one to get a first egg shiny.
Yeah, so that's why Incineroar is my number 4.
May I just say, as a member of the Rowlet gang, that I do respect Incineroar tremendously.
And I respect Decidueye tremendously, so.
Indeed. Alright, so this next one, my number 4, is probably going to be really confusing, because you're like, wait, you actually like that Pokemon? Yes, I do, actually. I love Roserade. I love Roserade. I could not tell you why I like this Pokemon. There's a lot of Pokemon that got, like, extended evolution lines in Gen 4. And of all of them, I picked Roserade as my favorite. I'm gonna probably say that the reason I like it is maybe it's because it's on Cynthia's team and I'm a huge Cynthia fan, but I don't have any of her other Pokemon on.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's just design wise. I like the roses. I really like her shiny. Um, like that. It kind of looks like a masked hero, kind of.
Hmm.
Because I mean, if I'm being completely honest here, I could not tell you why I like this Pokemon as much as I do, because this is random grass type that you find in Sinnoh number 15. You know, it's a grass poison type. There's no other Pokemon in the world with the grass poison type Sarcasm. You know, literally like every grass type in Gen 1's grass poison, and for some reason, a grass poison type from Sinnoh is the revolutionary one. I couldn't tell you why. It's just cool.
And then the Gen 5 one, you have 3 shinies of.
I have what? 3 shinies of this?
Of the Gen 5 grass poison type Fungus.
I used to have 3 of them. Now I only have 2 of them because I gave one to Ross. Yeah, I'm sorry if I don't have a better description for this one. I just couldn't tell you why I like this one so much. It's just neat. It's like that one Simpsons memes. I just think they're neat. All right, you're number 3 now.
All right. My number 3 is Crocodile. So, Crocodile has always been one of my favorite. No, actually, no, it's a lie. Actually, it started more or less in Gen 6 rather than Gen 5. Garchomp, or not Garchomp. I already
You're jumping
spoiled.
ahead. I mean,
What's
they could
next?
probably see it.
Yeah, true. Crocodile. Crocodile, he's just I just remember rewatching clips of the anime with the crocodile with the sunglasses, and I was just like, that is so badass. That is so cool. And then I thought that Sandile just looked cute and stuff. And then I hunted one in Gen 7, and I loved hunting it because I think Crocodile is one of the best shinies also. And I like the fact how his eyes are not this giant black thing. Rather, they're just those 2 little pupils on his head. So on the shiny, it looks really goofy, and I love it. And yeah, for those and also because he's also part dark type, which, like I said, I like dark types. So for those reasons, I think Crocodile is my third favorite Pokemon.
The resident Gen 5 fanboy and dad approves. I do love Crocodile quite a lot. All right, so my number 3, Empoleon. Sorry if it's like super scrubby to have like 3 starters on your top 10 favorite list, but I do because I think they're really well designed. Some of them.
I mean, hey, I have 2, so
Yeah, and we also both have 2 pseudos. So
yeah.
I mean, yeah, I honestly couldn't tell you why Empoleon's here because let me explain this to you. Right, the very first time I played Diamond, I picked Turtwig because I love turtles. But then, like, every other time after that, I picked Chimchar so I could have Infernape at the end of the game. I basically, until I did my Nuzlocke run last year of Platinum, I have never completed a playthrough of that game with Piplup as my starter, right? It was always like the third wheel, right? Ah, just recently, I guess, I just became, like, very interested in Empoleon's design. Like I just looked at it and I was like, wow, that is a really well designed Pokemon for some reason.
Yeah, because, like, out of nowhere, you just, every time I said I like Turtwig and Chimchar more, you would just start getting mad at me, and you didn't say
I
why.
didn't
I'm
get
just
mad.
like,
I didn't
okay.
get mad at you for that. There's no way.
Yes, you
Are
did.
you sure that's not someone else?
And then I talked about the fact how I don't like his shiny. Like, I think it's one of the worst shinies ever made, personally.
I mean, his shiny's
And you got
better.
mad at me for
I mean,
saying
if I'm
that,
being
too.
honest, it's better than Garchomp Shiny.
Throwing some shade. Throwing some shade. All right, now, all things aside, yeah, this one just became my favorite all of a sudden. Probably just purely design wise. That's the only thing I could think of. Also, this is the canonical starter for Barry. Barry canonically has Piplup as his starter, so I don't know. Maybe that's why, because I like Barry as a character. So him having Empoleon, that kind of like that. But this is another one of those ones where I just could not tell you why. I just have a sudden fascination with this Pokemon. Although I will say, Sinnoh has the best like starter lineup in terms of consistency of any region. Honestly, like I mean, you could probably argue Kanto is pretty good. Like they're all pretty solid, but I just think all 3 of the Sinnoh starters are just home runs for me.
Yeah,
But
I agree.
obviously, I tend to like the big penguin boy a bit more than the other 2.
Okay, also one thing I do like about Empoleon is I'm not sure if you've seen this, but there's a meme of Empoleon without the trident on his head, and it looks really funny.
All right, I gotta Google. I'm googling that now. I gotta see that.
It looks so derpy. Yeah, anyways, let's go to my number 2 then while he's pulling up the meme and looking at it. My number 2 is Garchomp. So Garchomp has always had a very special place in my heart. Ever since I was a little kid, Garchomp has always just been always been my second favorite Pokemon. It all started when I got Garchomp level X, because I played the cards before playing the games. So when I got my Garchomp level X, like, he instantly became, like, my second favorite Pokemon. Because originally Blastoise was my favorite Pokemon for a while. And Garchomp was my second favorite Pokemon. Then Heatran was my favorite Pokemon. Garchomp was still my second favorite Pokemon. And then the Zoroark movie came out, and I thought Zoroark was really cool because it was the first time I saw a new Pokemon. So Zoroark then became my favorite Pokemon, and Garchomp, for some reason, instead of being third favorite, he was still my second favorite. And now that, well, my new number 1 is my number 1. I guess it's not really new. I've liked it since Gen 6 as my number 1, but yeah. It's just, Garchomp has always been my second favorite Pokemon ever since I was little, so... He's like the one non-mover I've had my entire life, essentially. And I love the concept of it being part dragon and also part shark. But the fact that it's a land shark and not a sea shark, so instead of swimming underwater, it swims underground. And it has the fin popping out of the ground. I thought that was a really cool concept.
All right.
And
listen,
yeah, also...
Listen. Chat, guys,
yeah?
Watch this. I'm about to make Jake very, very, very feel very awkward right now. Jake, how do you feel about Mega Garchomp? Twisted, sorry.
Oh yeah, I was about to bring that up. Don't worry, I was getting there.
Every Garchomp you bring up the Mega.
So yeah. Also Garchomp, when I played a lot of Pokepark, like I would say at least 300 hours I've played Pokepark. So Garchomp was like one of my favorite Pokemon in that game too. I always loved using him in the mini games, and battling him in the Granite Zone was like one of my favorite things too. So yeah, that's why Garchomp is number 2. But the Mega, so listen, I already think Garchomp is perfection. You can't make perfection better if it's already perfect, unless you talk about my number 1, that is. But yeah, Garchomp, it's just they made the Mega have the spikes on his knees all over his body and thought that would look good. And they also made his jaw look very, like, detached and deformed, which I did not like. Literally the only thing about the Mega that I like more than the original is the fact that the fins on his arms turn red. I thought that was cool, but besides that, no, absolutely not.
I'm not gonna lie, I kind of like the shiny for the Mega.
In fact, Jordan knows this. Mega Garchomp is actually one of my least favorite Pokemon. I despise it because it just does not look good to me.
Well, I will say this: there's definitely multiple Megas that you can point to where it just the starting design was already so good that the Mega just went way too overboard with it.
Metachamp.
I was gonna say Metagross too, kind of.
Yeah, Metagross was in my top 5 also originally, but like when I retook the test a couple days ago, like the favorite Pokemon picker, he actually isn't in my top 10 anymore, which is weird.
Well, no, I was talking about the Mega, like Mega Metagross, kind of over.
But yeah, Mega Metagross, I don't like it as much as the original Metagross. But what I meant with Metagross, what's his name? Metacham. I hate Metacham, and then they somehow made the Mega look even worse than the Pokemon that is my second least favorite Pokemon. So yeah. Anyways, let's go to your number 2, which is
also Mega Salamence, also Mega Blastoise, kind of. I could do this all day.
I like Mega Salamence. He's a croissant.
I mean, he's fine. He's fine, but I mean, you can see my number 1. You know my bias. Yeah. So I guess I'll do my number 2 right now. It's Decidueye. Decidueye was my favorite Pokemon for about 3 years. Bless you.
Sorry.
But yeah, Decidueye's been my favorite Pokemon since Sun came out. I remember I loved Rowlet. Rowlet's the first time since probably Gen 4 that I've saw a starter, and I've just been like, dude, I'm gonna use that one. There's no other Pokemon I will ever use but that one.
Dude, that was literally me with Litten. That's
I feel like
what I said with Litten.
that's a lot of people back in Alola. A lot of
Mm-hmm.
people were super hard into Litten and super hard into Rowlet. Decidueye should have been in Smash over Incineroar. I don't care what you say. We didn't need another grappler. We needed like this could have been like a combination of Link and Falco, and that would have literally been my perfect character. And then, you know, Sakurai picked the big fire cat, even though we already had a fully evolved fire Pokemon in Smash. But enough ranting. I really like Decidueye, mainly because of its typing, if I'm being honest with you. Like, I really like its typing of Grass Ghost.
Even though there's 3 of them in Gen 6 and 2 of them in Gen 7.
Oh yeah, there's 4 of them in Gen 6 actually. I don't know. Grass Ghost.
4 of them in
Grass
Gen
Ghost
6.
is a really
Okay.
cool concept, and as cool as like Trevenant's fine, Gourgeist is cute. Decidueye is my favorite, obviously, by quite a long margin.
I thought Delmise was. I'm just kidding.
Delmise is pretty cool. I mean, I like the concept. It's just Decidueye. It's literally a combination of from the Legend of Zelda and an owl. It's the best way.
And Robin Hood.
Yeah, and Robin Hood. Also, it's based off a really cool extinct Hawaiian owl. That's also
Yeah.
really neat. But yeah, it was dethroned recently, which I remember when I took this test and I told Twisted that Decidueye was dethroned from spot 1. He was like really concerned. He's like, what's going on?
You might as well explain then your number 1.
Oh, my number
you
one
brought it
is
up.
my number 1 is I mean, this has pretty much been a couple months in the making here. I pretty much just didn't want to admit that Dragonite became my number 1 over Decidueye, but I mean, he's my avatar on Hainsey's server on the little Streamlabs game he has. And more recently, Dragonite has become hands down my favorite Pokemon for a couple reasons. For one, he's freaking adorable. And he's not adorable in the annoying sense, like Goodra, for example. I think Goodra's kind of like, all right, yeah, it's a cute pseudo, that's fine. But
Worst pseudo.
It's between him and Como for me. I don't know if he's my least favorite, but getting back to Dragonite, you know, you have a very, very cute Pokemon that's also a very, very strong Pokemon. Like you see,
And a mailman.
and a mailman. That is my favorite thing about Dragonite is that he's a mailman too in the Mewtwo movie. That's one of my favorite scenes as a kid. I mean, Dragonite's, you know, he's in and out of my Pokemon. My time as a Pokemon fan has always been kind of on the radar as one of my favorite. But I think it's most recently with the Pokemon
Journeys?
Journeys, that's what it's called. I almost called it Generation. The Pokemon Journeys anime with Ash's Dragonite. I really like Dragonite again because I mean, back in Gen 5 during the Gen 5 anime, they had Iris and her edgy Dragonite, and I didn't like
That was a mistake.
That was a mistake. It's like it's just annoying at that point. Like Iris is already kind of an annoying character, and then you have annoying Dragonite to go with it. But
And annoying Axew.
yeah, that's true as well. But more recently, with the Gen 8 anime, they've been kind of embracing the cute Dragonite aesthetic, and I really like that. And yeah, because of that, he's my number 1 now. He has returned to the number 1 spot after maybe 10 years. Because I remember a time when Dragonite, back in like probably the pre-Gen 4 era, Dragonite was my favorite.
And that brings us to my number 1, which should not come as a surprise to anyone. You caught a little bit of a glimpse of it before. It's Blaziken.
What?
I mean...
I know. Yeah.
I mean, if you know me, I make it very clear who my favorite Pokemon is. Very, very clear. For whenever I'm not Wailord on Hainsey's streams, I'm always Blaziken. Wailord's kind of a meme, but yeah. But yeah, Blaziken has always been in my top 5 ever since I was young. And the reason for that, he started to become higher and higher. Because first I had a level X of him that I loved. I thought he looked really cool in that artwork. And then I got Pokepark, as you know. And not only did I think he was the most badass Pokemon in Pokepark, he had the most badass theme to him. Like, he was the biggest boss. He folded his arms, acted like Vegeta, but in Pokemon. And yeah, and then his minigame was the most fun. And I always used him in his minigame because he was so good in it. So because of that, he really climbed up the ranks. And then back when Gen 6 came out, I did not follow Gen 6 that well. I know Jordan didn't either. I wasn't really into, like, I kind of fell out of Pokemon, have a 3DS, so I didn't really care about X and Y, I guess. And because my friends moved on, I felt like I had to move on, blah, blah, blah. But I still watched the anime, and I remember watching the Pokemon X and Y anime on the first episode, and seeing, and he's on since the start of Gen 6. I remember I used him for the first time in Oras because I didn't get X and Y when it first came out, so I didn't have the pre-order Mega Stone or anything. And I loved using him in Oras. And let's just say there is a very good reason for why he is the first non-legendary to get banned in Pokemon. He is just so good, even though I don't do competitive. Yep. Even though I don't do competitive, I just know he's so good. Plus, he's also, even though he's a firefighting type starter, it's not his fault. He was the first one, so it's because they decided to do it because Blaziken is so good already. So
I find it very funny that you mentioned that because you want to know something else that's pretty funny. All right, so the competitive Pokemon snobs in chat could definitely correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure during Gen 4 competitive that Garchomp was actually banned for a little bit at Ubers as well. So your
really?
top two are Pokemon that have been banned from OU. Yeah.
But yeah, what else was I gonna add about Blaziken? Oh, I was gonna say something, I just don't remember. Oh, also, Torchic, adorable Pokemon. Adorable little fire chicken that I just want to sit on my hat, or I want him to wear my hat, either or. And I saw his walking animation in Sword and Shield, and it is literally the cutest thing ever. So yeah, I don't really care about Combuskin, if you're wondering. That's like the one exception, but yeah. Blaziken, I think, is the perfect Pokemon. Also, if something else I needed to add. My old Xbox name was based off of the Blaze from Minecraft. So my Xbox name was originally BlazeCrafter212, which is very cringy. Now it's Twisted Electro, obviously. But yeah, my old Xbox name, like I said, was based off of Blaze. I always thought the word Blaze was cool, and I liked the fire type. Anything associated with fire I thought was cool. And then his name has Blaze in it, so that's another reason why I grew up liking Blaziken. So yeah, for all those reasons, Blaziken is my favorite Pokemon, and I don't think that's ever gonna change. I don't think the top 3 are ever gonna change. Actually, the top 4, I think Incineroar is also a lock now, as well. I'm pretty sure my top 4 will always be the same.
No,
yeah.
I would say the same.
Any closing thoughts?
I would say the same thing, but Blastoise recently jumped from 3rd place to 8th place, so we don't know about that anymore.
And Dragonite just took over your number 1, so...
Listen, man. Dragonite was the Pokemon that existed that I kind of forgot about because he wasn't in the Sword game. I'm in love with him because...
If you had to get and
I just ended up in Sword and Shield.
Oh.
And
hey, another reason why I know you like Dragon, because, in Gen 5, you get a free shiny one.
Except I never got that one, actually, because I have Black, too. So,
yeah, no, I have. We need to switch because I have the Dratini, you have the Gibble in your game.
I mean, I have both shinies now because I have shiny Garchomp now.
Oh yeah,
in
same.
Sword and Shield now. So, do you have any honorable mentions for your list? Because if you do,
I actually do. I can pull up my pictures.
I mean, okay, so I'll mention the number 11 because it was going to be the number 10, but I decided to not build pixel art of it out of concern of people being like, Jordan, why you like that Pokemon? It's I was gonna build Lopunny because I'm actually a fan of Lopunny. I think Lopunny's a cute design, but obviously people on Rule 34 have other things to do with her.
Yeah, DeviantArt.
Yeah, no, I don't approve of any of that. Just for the record, no, don't loot the bunny. Please don't loot the bunny. Let me see what other honorable mentions. Chandelure, who, funny enough, actually, I made a mistake when I was making mine. Chandelure actually didn't end up making it into the top 20 or the top 10 because I accidentally didn't click on him super early on.
Same with me with Lichen Rock, but I remembered where it should be.
I mean, yeah, no, Chandelure's always going to be an honorable mention. I actually don't remember any of the other ones. Let me get it up on my... Did I even say the top 25 one?
Well, I guess I'll list off some of mine while you
go ahead.
look up for yours. Another honorable mention of mine is Obstagoon. Obstagoon was originally number 10 before, because I forgot about Lichen Rock. I was like, oh, never mind, Lichen Rock's there, Obstagoon isn't. I remember Obstagoon was the first time we got an evolution to an old Pokemon since Gen 4 that we've ever seen, so I was very happy to see that for the first time. And I love Obstagoon. He's such a cool looking Pokemon. Also, he has one of the best shinies. And I went so hard for that shiny. Droid knows this.
Oh.
And of course, he gets 3 randomly.
I get 1 randomly, and then I actually hunted for the other 2 because I accidentally ran away from the other one. Because
I know, I was so mad that you ran from it on
didn't
accident.
do it on purpose.
What?
I legitimate.
I know.
It was just muscle memory, and I didn't look at the screen, so I didn't know it was shiny. Until
Yeah,
well, it was too late, obviously.
But number 12 is Luxray. Luxray for a while hasn't been near the top for me because, I don't know, there was just, I don't know why, for like a little bit, Draco was my favorite electric type. But then, I don't know, thinking more about Gen 4 remakes and getting the shiny Luxray and stuff in Isle of Armor really made me like Luxray again. And also, I still have my original Luxray from my first Pokemon run through, all the way back in 2009 in Platinum, so it's in Pokemon Home. But yeah. Luxray's in there. Metagross, which I already discussed. Zoroark, because he used to be my favorite Pokemon. Still think he's one of the best. Has the best Pokemon movie for sure. I just think it's so cute seeing it like hugging Zorua and stuff in the movie.
Yeah.
It's also one of the coolest edgy Pokemon. However, what dials it back a little bit is that it's fur bait, and
yeah, it's fur bait, kind of like little honey. Would you look at that?
And then, before you start listing some of yours, I'll do one more for right now, which is Lapras. And Jordan knows this very well.
Lapras.
Let's Go has made me fall in love with Lapras, okay? So, before that, I thought it was just an average Pokemon or whatever. You ride on it in Poke Park, you ride on it in all the games, whatever. Ride on it in Sun and Moon as a Poke Ride Pokemon, whatever. In Let's Go, what I did was, at GoFest 2019, I caught a ton of Laprases just so I could shiny hunt it in Let's Go. Literally 10 minutes after I finished the 31 chain, I got the shiny Lapras. I named it Lap Dance, and then I kept riding on it whenever I would hunt something in the water, and because of that, it made me fall in love with it. And then it only got even better when Sword and Shield came out because he got a Gigantamax. And I also fell in love with Tauros and his shiny because of Let's Go, but he's not on this list. He's kind of an honorable mention, kind of not. He would probably be in my top 30, I would say, 30, 40, something like that. I don't know. But yeah, your turn. Go ahead and do some.
Okay, so,
Honorable
little disclaimer, Decidueye is my number 2, Rowlet also shares that spot. Rowlet and Decidueye both share the number 2 spot. Not so much Dartrix, but I do like Dartrix still. So I mentioned already Lopunny was originally going to be number 10, but I didn't build it because I don't need people saying that I'm building for a bait. Gallade is also on my top 25. Toxicroak was pretty high on the list. Turtwig, Squirtle, Lucario, Infernape, and Torterra. So all the Sinnoh starters were in my top 25. Celebi, my favorite mythical. Piplup, Golurk, Gardevoir, Heracross, which is... I think Heracross might... No, Toxicroak's my favorite fighting type now. Heracross was my favorite fighting type for a little bit.
Mega Heracross.
We don't talk about that.
Sucks.
I mean, okay, here's the thing. I appreciate the design for what it is. It's not as good as the original. Arcanine's on there. Zakrom's on there. I'm pretty sure Zakrom's the only legendary on here, and then Celebi's the only mythical. I'm surprised Zekrom actually beat out Ho-Oh, which I'm surprised about, because obviously, you grow up playing Pokemon Gold. You kind of like Ho-Oh after a while. Those are pretty much all the ones I have to mention.
Okay. I guess I got a couple more before we end it out. I was just waiting for you to finish.
Yeah.
Corvo Knight was the first Pokemon from Gen 8 that I saw that I knew was a must-use for me. Corvo Knight is such a cool Pokemon, and his Gigantamax is also fantastic. He was also the first shiny that I got in Sword and Shield. Got it in like 1,500, maybe 2,000 encounters. Not 100% sure what the actual number is, but it's well over 1,000 for sure. And I remember because during those times, like when I was hunting it, I was working at a train museum, which, like, volunteering, not really working. At the time, it was the train week, and I absolutely hated it, but it paid for my school trips. And the one thing that was keeping me positive was hunting that whenever I went home. And yeah, I still have my shiny Corvo Knight to this day, and he's a Gigantamax now because of the I Love Armor. So yeah, and then Lurantis is next. Lurantis was in the top 10 at one point as well, but I don't know. It's just my love for it decreased a little bit, but I still love it. It's still my favorite grass type, and I think it's very genius the fact that it's pure grass type and not grass bug, because an Orchid Mantis is a bug pretending to be a flower, but the Pokemon is a flower pretending to be a bug, so it's flipping it on its head, which is a very cool concept. And he was also one of the few Pokemon where the first time I saw it in like one of the reveal trailers, I knew I had to use it. And then we have Togekiss. I just thought this Pokemon was adorable. I always wanted to hug it. It's just even though I've never used it on a team, I've always wanted to. I just think it's one of the most adorable Pokemon. Also, Dawn's was very adorable as well. Next we have Orbeetle. Orbeetle at one point was my number one. For a while, he was my number one in Galar. Like, favorite Gen 8 Pokemon. Because he has one of, probably my second favorite Gigantamax in the region. And he's just a very, very cool Pokemon. Favorite bug type. I love the bug psychic type. Love how he's based off of both an evil scientist and also a UFO at the same time. And a ladybug. Very cool concept. Executed it perfectly.
Crazy Gigantamax
But yeah.
form about it.
What?
Orbeetle's got a crazy Gigantamax.
Yeah, which is why I said it's my second favorite Gigantamax.
It's
I still think
crazy.
Blastoise's is better, but I still love his.
What is my favorite Gigantamax? I don't even remember.
Then I got two more. Next we got Slowbro. It's mostly for the Gallerian form and the Mega rather than the base form. The base form's fine, but the Mega is amazing. I used it in Oras on my first run through. It was fun. He's got a cool Mega. But the Gallerian form is my favorite regional variant of any Pokemon. Executed it perfectly. I love Quick Draw. I love the typing Psychic Poison. His shiny, oh my gosh, top 5, maybe top 10. It might be top 5. I don't know. I think actually it is top 10. Top 10 favorite shinies of all time. I love the Galarian form, and I love the fact that his hand turns into a gun. That was like such a cool concept.
I'm on the button
and then last
to say that I figured out my favorite Gigantamax form is Alcremie.
Oh yes.
I forgot Alcremie existed, to be honest, for a little while.
Last but not least, I have Samurott. Samurott is one of my favorite starters. He's a very cool little otter boy. Most people don't really like Samurott, which I don't understand. They're like, oh, Dewott and Oshawott are so much better. I actually think Samurott's the best of the three. And I think it's cool how he's got this giant white beard and he's on all fours. And he can take these shell swords out of his hilts and his paws. It's really cool. And yeah, for those reasons, Samurott's probably my favorite water type starter. And yeah, that concludes this video, I think. Any last words before we go, Droid?
I'm not good at picking favorites because I like pretty much every Pokemon, at least a little bit. And I don't mean that in saying that there aren't ones that I dislike. I mean that in saying that I can usually find a redeemable quality about every Pokemon. So picking like 10 out of every Pokemon that exists is pretty hard.
Yeah, ultimately this is, my opinion and his opinion. So don't hate us for maybe not picking a Pokemon that you particularly like more than others.
If
these are just the Pokemon we like.
Listen, if anyone says anything bad about Dragonite in the comments, you gotta ban them. No, just kidding. I don't care. You can absolutely dump on my list because I know people are gonna be confused by Rose Raid. They're gonna be like, why?
But yeah, literally, give us your opinions of these Pokemon. Give us the opinions of your top 10. And yeah, if you haven't already, like and subscribe. And yeah, we'll see you in the next video. Peace out.
Bye.